Welcome to another episode of All About Art. I'm Cathy.
And I'm Walter. And with this episode, we're going to suggest to you the 3 reasons you collect art.
We'll be right back right after this.
Is your home missing something? Nothing completes a home like the perfect collection of art. From sculpture to paintings to custom framing. Thanks for saying yes to E&S.
We're talking today about reasons to invest in artwork. That's a very tricky subject. Just because an artist puts a particular price on a piece of artwork doesn't mean that it's a good investment. A lot of times you will find artists that are overpriced. You have to understand where you are investing. There's penny stock, there is mid cap, and then there's blue chip. If you're purchasing someone like Elizabeth Cathy, you know that the provenance on this particular artist is wonderful. You can find her in major publications. You can find her in major museums. So if you decided to sell this work, there are more people that know about this artist than just you. So make sure you do your homework when you are thinking of purchasing artwork as an investment.
Okay, the second reason is provenance. And what is provenance? That's the history of the piece. That's the authentication of the piece. So when you think provenance, just think proof about the artwork. What can serve as provenance? It's your certificate of authenticity, an original sales receipt. If you meet an artist and you actually talk with them and get some information about it, take notes. All of that goes in your provenance. Take a photograph with the artist. That's also proof of what the piece is. Now, the number one reason that people buy art, and that's appeal. That could be anything like the color of the art, the subject matter of the art, materials that it's made of, the substance, it's the composition, how it fits into your home. One artist that is particularly appealing to collectors is Walter Loban. And that's because his art is made out of vinyl records. In fact, I know exactly who I could share this with because she's always, every time I call this collector in Nashville, right? She's like, okay, Pusher Woman, what do you have for me today?
For anybody that's interested in purchasing a piece of art, I think that they need to come and experience the gallery for themselves. It's phenomenal. And the experience that you all provide to each individual purchaser is just above and beyond. It's the reason why it makes somebody want to wake up in the middle of the night and only call you. So,
You know, she's right. Art collecting can become kind of addicting.
But is she really right about us being art pushers?
Art pushers.
I always say we're running out of wall space. I don't know where this piece is going to go.
It's moved around the house about 3 or 4 different places. And I haven't hung it yet.
We still don't have a permanent home.
We do that a lot.
The kids will say, well, if you don't know where it's going to go, you can send it to me and we'll find a place for it in our house. Or something.
They're really,
Not
really
going to
smart.
happen.
All right, guys, we are back, continuing conversation on what motivates art buyers. Please join us in welcoming Miss Kimberly Perkins Davis.
All right. Yay, Kimberly. Welcome to All About Art.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, thank you for agreeing to come on and just talk with us a little bit about what motivates you to buy art. And I have to confess that you motivated us to do this whole segment on how it can even become addictive. So we want to hear from you. What's it like? What motivates you to buy art when you get those emails and other stuff?
Your emails are addictive, I think. No, but I think my motivation comes from pieces that speak to my spirit, that make my heart sing, and brings me happiness and joy when I walk into various areas of my home. So the emails are wonderful, and I love watching All About Art, and I love seeing the pieces in the gallery. But for me, really, it's something that is a feeling that I get in my soul and in my heart. And it's when something really makes my heart like leap. And I wake up in the middle of the night thinking about the piece, and I can see the wall that it belongs on, or I can see the pedestal that I want to put it on, or the piece of furniture that I want to put the sculpture on. Then then you start getting those emails from me, Cathy, and then it's just like, okay, well, it's there comes the addiction. And for me, that's what it is. And also, I also know that a legacy that I'm leaving my family, because it appreciates in value. So I just think it's something beautiful that I can leave.
Well, that's a good thing, Kimberly. Yes. How about, when did you start? Did you start recently, or have you been collecting for years and years, or?
No, I would say probably about 10 years ago. And it's funny, I would walk past your exhibits in the different conferences and conventions, and I would look in awe and ooh, it's so beautiful, and just keep on walking. And it was one time that I finally decided I was just going to stop and engage in a conversation with you. And then I realized that I too could be an art owner, and it could be an investment that I could have in my home as well. And I didn't realize that that could be something that I could enjoy looking at in my home. I always thought it was something that other people could have in their home, but never something that was obtainable for me.
But when you finally, and this is what we tell people, the hardest piece of art to buy is often the first piece.
Yeah.
Of the reasons you just named. But what keeps you engaged and collecting? You talked about a key thing, the visual appeal of the artwork as a motivator for you, and the investment that you're making, not only in your art collection, but your children's art collection. And I understand that you like watching our videos with certain families.
My daughter Ryan, she is one of your biggest fans, and she's got a pretty good eye, actually.
Well, that's wonderful, and we talk about that often. A lot of people find that their kids don't have an interest And we normally tell them, you didn't create that interest for them. You didn't, talk about your work, and you didn't, explain it to them. If you would have, they would have an interest in it also.
One of my favorites is Woodrow Nash, and my son was afraid of the sculptures at first. And on one of our trips to the gallery, Cathy was so gracious to tell a story to my son about how the sculptures were our ancestors and they were our kings and queens. And it was in hearing that story that it calmed my son down and made him realize that these are things of beauty and not something to fear. And so now when he's in the house and he looks at them, he talks about them, and he walks up to them and he looks at them and he loves them now. And
That's how you push your woman.
that's right.
So,
That's right.
She's just about covered the areas of what motivates Kimberly in her purchases or her investments or acquisitions. There is a lot of different reasons for people to collect, but to me, the number one is just what you just said. It has to move that particular person.
Ever since I've met you and come into the gallery, you all have always made us feel like family, and that's my family and us. And for anybody that's interested in purchasing a piece of art, I think that they need to come and experience the gallery for themselves, because things there look so much better and so different in person than they do on the internet, through an email. If it makes my heart sing, it will make their heart sing. And it's phenomenal. And the experience that you all provide to each individual purchaser is just above and beyond. And you give your undivided attention and you make them feel like they are the only client in the world. And for that, I thank you, because it's a wonderful, moving experience. And it's the reason why it makes somebody want to wake up in the middle of the night and only call you. So, yes.
Well, I'm sending you a check right now for that commercial.
And we'll be right back with more All About Art.
Hey, welcome back, guys. We hope you enjoyed this episode as much as we did.
Yeah, me too. I really enjoyed it myself, Cathy, and I love your outfit.
I love yours. Is this real?
It is.
Nope.
Yeah, well, you know this. How about them? I hope you enjoy any of the Zooms that we do. And back to these outfits, though. I just took this straight out of my closet. This is what I'm going to wear,
I know.
So hopefully we'll see you again. And as always, thanks for saying yes to E&S.